Hello, I'm Deborah Lee Meehan, and welcome to my office. And this is Jessie.
Hi.
And thanks for joining us for Colonic Talk. And Jessie has some questions for me.
What are the spiritual implications of colon hygiene therapy, specifically stewardship?
In relationship to the principle of stewardship, stewardship of the temple is talked about in the Old Testament, in the Dead Sea Scrolls. Let me preference this right now. This important part of the principle is from the mouth to the anus legally is considered an external organ. The digestive tract from the mouth to the anus is legally considered an external organ, which means it needs to be clean, just like your eyes, ears, nose, and mouth. So it's important to know the distinction of hygiene versus medical. This is not a medical procedure. And this hygienic procedure or modality has been practiced since the beginning of time. So we need to keep that in mind, because this is my responsibility as a human being to take care of my own body. And it's very empowering, and it's also my privilege. And hygiene will prevent chronic illness. So when the Industrial Revolution came in, previous to that, colon hygiene was practiced by everybody in their home. Any book you read in the 1800s, 1900s, they'll talk about cleaning their bowel and how essential it is to life. So it was never anything new. It's as old as the earth, and God created us with the intention in mind to teach us how to steward this body in this temple. So if we were to keep cleaning our bowel, we would not go into chronic illness. And that's what I've learned by cleaning my bowel and thousands of other people. And it takes the garbage out, and then you have that basic organic body. And then nutrition will work on a body that's not full of chemicals. Remember, the GCMAF factor, the protein protection of the cell, is destroyed with chemicals. So you can eat and exercise all you want, but if you have chemicals in your body, like dental work, prescription drugs, over-the-counter drugs, you're destroying your immune system, period. And you can eat anything you want, as good as it is, and work out all you want, but you're not going to help it, because you can. Did you ever hear that you can't paint over rust even with the best paint? Well, that's what people are trying to do with their health, and it won't work. So we have to go and clean out the garbage. We have to cleanse and then rebuild. And that's basically what the Dead Sea Scrolls are telling you. It goes into detail about what cleaning your bowel does in the river, down to the detail. So you should read that. It's very interesting.
Do you have any examples of stewardship of the temple?
Well, stewardship of the temple is our daily life. Basically, it's our daily bread. Stewardship of the temple. First of all, you have to go in and take it out, which is an expedential process. Along the linear line, we're moving very fast when you're doing a daily colonic. And that'll throw us into exponential, which is deep work, like to the 100th power. So we actually can get out approximately a month's worth of feces out of a body in one colonic. And then if you do them every day, what you stir up one day, you get out the next, and it just opens up like this. I'm going to give you a visual here. It goes slow because the feces are hard, and the more we work with them, and it's like excavating, it'll just open up like this, and then the feces start pouring out parasites, chemicals, and that's how it works scientifically, expedentially and exponentially. And you can study up on that. And my book has a lot of information, but you can read any science book and get some more information about that. So what I saw was a young girl this week who works in a really high-end restaurant, and she ate a sandwich at work, and it must have been on the verge of going bad. She had a fever the next day, and her mom was taking her to the emergency room and called and said, "Can I bring her in?" I said, "Sure." And when I spoke with her, I got the information I needed, and I said, "Well, let's just give you a colonic." And as soon as we put her on the table and had the colonic going, the chicken sandwich came out, and I could smell the sourness of the chicken sandwich. Now I can smell food when it's good. You can smell old poop. It has a certain distinctive odor to it. Chemicals do. And this sandwich was fresh, but it had sour. And she did have a fever in the morning. So I would say that when she ate it, it was on the verge of going bad. Well, it came right out of the tube, and already her stomach pain was gone, and her heaviness, and how you feel when you don't feel well, the dizziness and all that. And she felt great. And something that simple. And of course, if she would have gone to the emergency room 20 years ago, they would have given her an enema, which is actually just what we were doing. But they don't do that anymore, I don't think. So she was thrilled. It was her first colonic, and she just was very thankful. So she did real well. And that's how simple our healthcare can be, really. And I don't know why we have to make it any more difficult. That's called drama. Drama. So stewardship of the temple is very simple, and it's from God, and He knew what we would need. So no matter what century we were in, and what decade, what year, whatever was coming upon the masses of people, if they just kept their bowel clean, it will take everything out. I've done it with inoculations with my children. I just take the inoculations out, the vaccinations. And so I don't want that in my children's system. And if they were to get fevers like they have in their life, I just give them a colonic, and it takes the fever right out. And I've done it with myself. It'll just take the fever right out of your bowel in a 30-minute period. So it can be used like an antibiotic too. There's many different functions that colon hygiene possesses. And the more you use it, the more you understand, and it is very safe. That's one.
Give a second.
Okay, I have a pregnant lady in my office now. She's had 300 colonics before she has become pregnant. Helen Wood Institute states that if you're doing colonics on a regular basis and you become pregnant, you can keep doing them, because the body has a higher innate self that knows exactly what you're doing, and what the colonic is separate from the pregnancy, and the baby is safe. And she's happy. She's very thankful she can do colonics while she's pregnant. And she's a very fit and a professional person, and uses her body a lot. So her energy levels are staying high, and she's just thrilled. And that's that's a great example. We've had other pregnant ladies over the last 20 years that we've done that with also.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you want to share about this?
No, I think that's fine. Thank you so much.
Right.
Thanks for spending time with us. And it's not raining in Nashville today, and that's a miracle. Bye-bye.
Thank you.